Pick that Pacino here. Okay, I'm reloaded. This is Show and Tell, number 59. Justin's shot. And giving you a highlight of the collection right there. See what we got. Actually, what's on display. Lately, I've been doing a lot of sorting out, a lot of repackaging as far as like storage. Been getting little Plano, I guess they call them Plano cases. Probably get some bigger ones, but I already had storage bins. But I think I'm gonna go with the Plano cases and get a lot more of them. As far as, excuse me, for car culture, probably package up a lot of my car culture on certain areas I had displayed throughout my house and keep the green lights and Johnny Lightnings and more premium brands on display more. But with that said, let's get into first thing I want to say though, I learned three things since I've been collecting as an adult for the past 12 or 13 years. Number one, do your research. Know what the new models are and what you want, even what you like. Also, learn what your local stores usually stock as far as Dodge brands. If possible, learn the schedule when they stock the new models. Very important. You know, you sometimes you go to a store and you wonder why stuff is not there. Probably because stuff has already been stocked, and the people who are into the hobby, they have already came through. So you got to know the schedule of when they stock the new models, especially if you're into. I think the most thing common thing people collect, including me, is car culture and car culture models. Matchbox, somewhat. I really don't see their premium as much as I see car culture. Car culture is kind of nationwide, in some ways universal. Green light, you catch them at Hobby Lobby. Somewhat they get taken into a little bit, but it's the same thing applies. Number two, when you're on the pegs, look at the whole area, not just the designated area of the store where the main line of the premium, such as car culture, is usually stocked. That means don't just look on them pegs where the models hang. Look all around there. Somehow look behind the boxes and look even on other aisles around. Because sometimes people put stuff back or they kind of put it somewhere where they can come back to it, or you never know. Could be a kid who did it and put it aside, tried to find his parents. I hate to say it, but yeah, that could be the scenario. Or it could be an employee putting stuff to the side where he can find it for later. Number three, guard your holes, because other hunters, even even people who are just buying for their kids, they may see something that you got and pick it up, and you already placed it to the side or whatever, and they see a whole set and pick it up. Oh, wow, this is nice. Yeah, so always make sure, be aware of your surroundings. And it's also, I've ran into a couple of people who I thought were collectors who were looking at what I was doing and trying to see what I was doing. I usually put my stuff in the cart. And with that said, the best thing to do is get out, get in and get out as quick as possible. Yeah. Sometimes you get people shopping with their kids and stuff like that, especially you doing a video. I hate doing the videos in stores sometimes because then you get into the outside doors and stuff like that. But yeah, be careful on the pegs. Saying this to say this, you'll see later in this episode why I said those things. Because I have to remind myself of those things. I'm not that expert. Sometimes I get frustrated. But let's get into it. I went to Target on Monday. Like I said, I probably should be hauling today. Should be out there looking, but man, I had a good haul, man. And kind of expensive hobby that we have. I learned, you can't go out there, go out for the gusto every week. So leave something for next week as far as money wise. So I went to Target last Monday, picked up this main line. I think it's 74 Escort RS 1600 Baja Blazers. If I got it or I don't, it doesn't matter because I'm putting it aside. I'm getting this box for the subscriber. So, he's got a very interesting side story. I'm not going to really get into it, leave it anonymous, but yeah, he deserves a box. The Audi RS Coupe HW Turbo Series. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes. One on. This is like a second course. Last video, I had got all of the door slam series, which they're right here. There's the BMW. There's the Escort. There's the Datsun 510, and there's the Porsche. And this completes the set. The Alfa Romeo Giulia Sprint GTA, number 2 of 5. So the Door Slammers series is complete. And in that same store, I've been looking for these for almost like 3 to 4 months. At first, and you wondering why he got the video. You know why I got these videos up here. For people who say they're not fans, I'm a fan. I'm a day one fan. I even saw the trailer for the new movie that's coming out. Even though so far it kind of seems kind of goofy, but at this point I'm not gonna lie. I checked out probably at Fast and Furious, probably number 6. No, number 7. After that, I was like, they should have left it where it was after Paul Walker passed away. But oh well. Usually I just watch the movies to see what cars they have in them. So people talk about this movie, but it kind of exposed a lot of people to JDM. If you weren't into Initial D, I think a wider audience got aware of Japanese only cars like Chaser, Toyota Chaser, even more so Veilside, because you had the Fortune kit, RX-7 in there. But anyway, let's get into this. It's the Fast Rewind series. Let's I got them all mixed up. It's supposed to be just like this. Okay, now we can kick it. Sorry. Old school time. I'm like, what is he talking about? Man, the Fast Rewind series got the RX-3, which they all mimic famous cars. They try to mimic the one that came before it. And it mimics the RX-7 that was featured in, supposed to be like the one in the original movie. Well, I pointed out before, because I'm such a fan, I know there's some inconsistencies with this car. There's some logos missing that they couldn't put up here, probably, like Veilside. And there'll be Veilside on the back. And the wing is wrong. Supposed to be an aftermarket wing. This is stock red wing. But this is supposed to be this. And we have another car that was in the Fast and the Furious series. This was oh yeah, I forgot to point out the RX-7 is possibly a 1973 model. I don't think they were available in the U.S. I don't know if we ever had that car in the U.S. They're probably popping up now, especially in the West Coast and California because of the age. But at the time, I don't think we got that car. We started to get the RX-7, I know, in around 1979, something like that, 78 in the U.S. But we don't have it now. They start making RX everything. I think they got it's not related. This last thing they had was the RX-8. And they stopped making that, I think, a few years ago, like maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. This is a Nissan Skyline C210. It's based on a car that was in the first movie that was driven by a character named Leon, who drove into the sunset and hasn't never been seen again in none of the movies. His car was cool though. It was an R32 in the movie, and they made it because they're now in this series they're taking the earlier related models and putting the logos on them and designs of the cars from those movies. He gets this Nissan Skyline C210, which I think this is like I want to say it's a 76 or 78. It's after the Ken Murray is like 70, or after the box Skyline, which will be next. This one. This car is made in Japanese Historics too, which I had to order this because it was never on the pegs in my area. I only had this one in the Nissan Laurel. Thinking about going after the other series, but oh well. And this is a car that's never made it to the States. They ain't come to the States. They ain't no R32. They're now just popping up the past few years, but on the West Coast, they were popped up here and there. Long story. Researching on the net, man. You'll see some interesting stories about that. Next, we got the Nissan Skyline H2 HT 2000 GTX, which is, they call this the Harusuku, the box Skyline, like a This Skyline was made from 1968 to I think 1971. Of course, is the design is the one that Paul Walker drove in Too Fast, Too Furious, supposed to be, which is right here. And this was from the Fast and Furious series. I forgot what name this was. I was lucky to get it. Next, we get into the Nissan Fairlady Z. This is a custom. This they have these Hot Wheels have several Fairlady Z from the 70s designs. I mean modes, I should say. They got one that's the Fugu Z, which is coincidentally Kang Sung's car originally that he had at SEMA. Kang Sung, of course, played Han, who supposedly is coming back for this next movie. And these lights on the back are from a Skyline. I think either not the Harajuku, but I think the Ken Murray. Either the Ken Murray or this bad boy. Might be the Ken Murray. This guy, these lights are different. And I don't have design model. The car though, which is cool, and they have it out. I've seen it. It's supposed to be coming in the next Fast and the Furious series. This belonged to the pro. I guess he the rival of the main character in Tokyo Drift. And they called him. His nickname was DK, but his real name was Takashi. Played by this actor. I don't know the actor's name, but he's popped up in a lot of stuff on TV and movies. And either way, he had a cool Nissan. A Nissan 350Z. We call him a 350Z here, but in the movie it was they call him a Z33. That's when it's right hand drive, and I don't have a premium to compare it to. I do got this. This is the mainline version with the G Ready logos on it. It's cool. It's cool. And last but not least, this is a brand new model. I was excited about this because this car was in Forza Motorsport, and that's when I first learned about it. I knew about Silvia's, which over here we know them as 240Z SX, 240 SXs, but this was before, way before, because this is a 66 model, and this is the original. They just called them Silvia's. Long before we got this car, I guess the later models. This is the 1966 version. I don't think it ever came to the States. Now I like the stretched out wheels on this. That's how they run them in Japan. Usually on 15-inch wheels. Real low. So I have nothing to compare this to because this is a brand new mold, a brand new model. but it is supposed to mimic this S15, which is a 240SX. Well, they call it, it's a Sylvia in Japan. It was the last Sylvia, I think, the S15 in 2000. I think this is a 98. It came out in 98, and I think it was stopped production in like either 2001 or 2002. This is famous Mona Lisa. And the spoiler on this one is wrong too. It's not like this in the movie. And there's more logos too. It's supposed to say GT Wing somewhere on here. And you're supposed to see Ray's GT Wing. But it's a beautiful model, man. Beautiful. So, really happy to have this whole complete set. And how I found this was I looked around. Yeah, I think I seen couple of the cars were on the pegs. I think one of them I seen in a whole nother section down a little further, and then the Matchbox section. And then I think two of them, the last two I found on a shipper, which was located on the next aisle, which was the Car Culture shipper. Why they put it there, I do not know. And they had it bundled with these, not with this particular one, or was it? I think that's where I found this one at that shipper. But either way, yeah, it's been a good haul, man. Yeah, I could have went to Hobby Lobby if I was really pressed, but I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? End of the month, got some other stuff I gotta do. I'm good with this. Shoot, six Car Culture cars, man. I think that was a good call. So, yeah. There's the pearls and chrome from the last haul. Got them out. Well, Fantasy Casting, that haul is mean. Probably not up to scale, but it's pretty mean. Chill, no. You put the car up there, B. Save some space. My bad. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I want to thank the subscribers for subscribing. And hopefully you're viewing the content. Hopefully I didn't do too many crazy angles because kind of off. If you like this content, your first time viewing my channel, please subscribe. We got more content coming. I'm trying to have some giveaways, you know, we can get enough interest. But I know a lot of people, they want certain things, giveaways. We're going to see what we're going to do. You never know, man. You never know what the future may bring. But if you like content, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the notification button. As always, my motto is show a little love to the diecast, man. It's a hobby. I love to display the cars. I love watching channels where other people display their cars. I love the community of the hobby. You know, if you feel the same way, by all means, you know, you can hit a like, a dislike, or whatever. I'm just happy that you tuned in. Until next time, this is Big Dappuccino We signing out. This show and tell, number 59. Peace.